It's time to level yourself up. You have to have daily progression. You're not going to make this massive leap. You're not going to go out there today and jump off this 10-story building and be at the place you want to be. You're stepping off the curb. You're stepping off the curb to a positive, better you that's going to carry you forward to your best self. Welcome back to Live 100. I'm Jason Yarusi, and today we are going to talk about mastering meaningful habits and rituals. So we have gone through now 6 of the power pillars of the Live 100 program, completing the Break Your Bad Habits block and the Build Your Future momentum block. But today we are starting on the Magnify block. This is the 3rd and final block of the Live 100 program. Now, this is a touch into the world of Live 100. This is for you to take it so you can use these components as part of your life to grow, to improve, to be your best self. So if you have not, make sure you listen to the 6 podcasts before this. They will lead you through elevated self-awareness, owning who you are, being yourself, and you're positioning yourself for greatness. Now that is the break block. And as we lead through into the build block, we will have intentional execution, be uncomfortably brave, and be limitless. Well, today as we grow into the last phase, which is the Magnify block, we are going to talk about magnifying habits and rituals. Do you know that on average, each day, 40% of your habits are repeated? So if you think about your habits today, if you think about what you do each and every day, if they are negative habits, 40% of the time you're repeating those habits. Think about the evolution of what you do, right? So if you are drinking 6 beers a night, you may say, oh, that, I do that, 1, 2, or 3 times a week, right? But the habit effect of that not only carries over, right? That you don't finish strong in the day, that you don't get a good night's sleep, that you don't wake up at the time you say, that tomorrow you're groggy, you're not in your best light, you're not making your best decisions, right? You're not carrying forward. And the studies show that if you do these poor habits, right, it's the compounding effect. Warren Buffett says compounding is it's the 8th wonder of the world, right? Because compounding in every part, he's talking about compounding interest. It talks to each level of our life. If you take 1% and you increase and improve 1% daily, that's over 3,000% improvement over the course of a year. If you just compound just 1% better each day. So if you think about you and your habits, are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Are you working out religiously? Are you being kind? Are you having positive thoughts? Are you putting your best self forward? Are you taking yourself to become the person that lives 100 in each and every day of your life? Because today we are mastering meaningful habits and rituals. So the first piece of this is that if you keep doing what you've always done, you can't expect to get anything but what you've already got. That's a quote that's been put out there that talks about the evolution of if you're going to do the same, don't expect that something's going to happen, going to be different. That's madness. So you need to outwork your heroes. So if you see people today in the position you want, in the place you want to be, at the level that you deserve and want to grow to, you can't just do what they're doing right now today. You have to outwork them. You have to get up early. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the extra hours. You have to be diligent and dedicated and intentionally execute. You have to go out there and be limitless in your exposure, be uncomfortably brave about what's in front of you. And your habits have to have a positive effect. Andy Frisella talks about this great thing of win the day, right? He writes down 3 things. And of those 3 things, he goes to complete those 3 things each day. And if he completes them, he puts a W at the top of the page. And the next day, maybe he only gets 2 done. So he puts an L at the top of the page. So we have to think about our wins, our losses, right? If you look back and you're having, say, 30 days here where you've won 10 and you've lost 20, well, then you need to change either your focus, right? Because the things in the page are not important enough for you to get them done, or you need to really be disciplined to the destiny of where you're going. So ask yourself today, are you putting in the positive work to have habits that are going to build you to live your 100? Because most of the time in life, we're maybe living, 100, maybe in our health and our fitness, right? But then in our business, in our family, in our fitness, right? Or in our family and our faith, right? Maybe we're at a 40 or a 50, right? So over time, the family life, the business life, the faith life, because we're not living this at 100, it starts to detract from our fitness level, right? It starts to pull us back to the mean. So today it's time to level yourself up. So you need to outwork your heroes. The next is that you have to have daily progression. You're not going to make this massive leap, right? You're not going to go out there today and jump off this 10-story building and be at the place you want to be. You're stepping off the curb. You're stepping off the curb to a positive, better you that's going to carry you forward to your next self, to your best self. So you need to look at your habits today, write them down. What do you do each and every day that's good? And what do you do each and every day that's probably not suited for the direction and the place that you want to level up to? Put them down. And tomorrow, add one more onto the positive page and eliminate one off the negative page. I'm not saying wipe it clean. I'm not saying go from 0 to 1,000 in just terms of positivity here, but start building that progression. Remember, we need 1%. That 1% improvement each and every day gives you over 3,000% of improvement over the course of a year compounded. Think about where you will be 365 days from today if you start to go out there and increase yourself in a positive fashion each and every day, just that little percent. The hardest thing is to be disciplined to that because we all want these mega jumps, but you're building a life that's sustainable. You're building your future life. You're not doing something that you're going to get to this one point and then regress from. That's what happens with weight loss many times, right? We see these shows like The Biggest Loser where they go out there and they lose 200 pounds. But what they don't give them is that when they get to the weight they want to be, what do they do now, right? Life doesn't stop. If you're like, hey, I want to make $1 million. Well, say you go make $1 million. Well, what happens then? Life continues to carry on. So you have to understand that these parts are the evolution of your journey. They're just a mile marker that you're going to get to along the road of your life. And the next piece of this is what goes next. So you have to have a disciplined, sustainable fashion to what you're going to do with your life. So you need to outwork your heroes. You need to put in a daily positive progression in building yourself to your best self. And last, you have to eliminate the negativity that is the patterns of your life that start pulling you back. If you don't get good night's sleep, do you eat poorly in the morning? If you stay up late or have a drink at night, you end up having maybe 2 drinks or 3 drinks, right? Or have dessert. If you go out to dinner, right? Do you make sure you eat this massive portion because you feel like, oh, I'm out to dinner, I better eat this big portion. When you get tired, do you get in fights with your spouse, right? What are the things that you're doing that cause you to go in this negative rift? If you can look at those and identify those and be true to yourself to say, these do not serve me, then you can put in your mind that each and every time you have the opportunity to decide if you should go down a route that leads you to negativity, to decide to do the thing that's going to get you to live your 100 each and every day. This is Live 100 for a reason. It's meant for you to level up, to be your best self, to be your greatest self, to live to the moment in time where you can look back and say, I'm doing everything I meant to be, and now I'm going to do more. So far we've gone to the break block, elevated self-awareness, owning where you are and positioning yourself for greatness. We've moved through you building your best self from intentionally executing, being uncomfortably brave, and being limitless. And today we are tackling here on the last block where now we're magnifying your success. We're magnifying your journey by mastering meaningful habits and rituals. All right, so that's what I got today. This is the Live 100 program. This is the Live 100 podcast. Make sure you go down and you give us a rating and review. Share this with others, someone else who can reach out that can want to hear this message to improve their life to live level 100. And this is all the steps of the program. You can go out there and tackle yourself. But if you want that extra guidance, if you want to work with us, like we work with so many others to help them level up and live their 100, go over to live-100.com. You can fill in a form. We'd love to have a call for you. Learn more about what you are doing along your journey today. Let's do this.